Now, other interesting cultural news, you have Joe Rogan and Ice Cube slamming trans athletes in women's sports. And you're starting to see this big cultural shift where more and more celebrities are starting to open up to the idea of some of the thing of wondering how is this not a massive advantage. Now, Ice Cube has always been a little bit, I would argue a little bit more in the middle politically speaking. He's been pro gun for several years, as every American I would say should, considering it's in the Bill of Rights, which most important document in history, second only to the Second Commandments or Ten Commandments. Fumbling my words today. Now let's play a little clip of this and see what exactly are they talking about.
Everything. Everybody, because of social media, everybody feels like they're fighting some sort of social battle with everything they do. And and this is one. This is another one. It's like forced compliance. You're forced to comply with this, and it's
Very
fucking
true.
up women's sports in a huge way, and
There will be no women's sports if we go with the current trend.
some organizations are pushing back against that, and some people are pushing back against the organizations that are pushing back against it, which to me is insane. Like, if you care at all about biological women, you should be against that.
What if, like, LeBron said he wanted to play in the WNBA? Like, I'm retiring from the NBA because I'm 49 and I'm going to play in the WNBA.
Well,
With the current logic, he could. There's no reason he couldn't. Tomorrow he could identify as that, and he could. I mean, most average people would crush it, as the youth might say, as a slang term for winning in the WNBA. But it would be highly entertaining to see him just get 200, 300 points a game.
be able to stop it if he just decided to say publicly, I identify as a woman. What are they going to do? They can't do anything. And then that would be the end. That would be. Dave Chappelle has a bit about it.
Yeah. LeBron scores 100 again tonight.
Well, there was some fucking knucklehead that was getting an interview. They said, if Mike Tyson identified as a woman, should he be able to fight women? And they were like, well, the short answer is yes.
Mike Tyson, the greatest boxer in history. Got more muscle density than like 10 men combined.
Lord.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's so, and there's also different specifications. It's like what you have to do and how long you have to take hormones before you can identify as a woman and compete as a woman. Like, just fucking stop.
Man, who's going to check all that?
Yeah. There's a reason why there's women's sports. And there's a
Yes.
reason why there's men's sports. And you're not talking about who you are or what your truth is. Live your truth.
I mean, Title IX just got, just turned, 30 or
Yeah.
something like that. You know what I mean? So
Protecting women's sports. Yeah.
yeah, which is great because it forces schools and they make a lot of money, teaching whatever they teach in them schools, and they should
Not much these days. I mean, we have history math scores at all-time low. Perhaps by design. Interesting.
carve out some for women to be able to play for their school. That's great, and so I don't understand. Sometimes things don't make crazy man sense. And when they don't make crazy man sense, I just back out. Just stop thinking about it.
Yeah, it's probably a good move because you're not going to solve it.
No.
I mean, I think ultimately it gets solved where people just don't accept it anymore. And then hopefully it'll go. I mean, maybe they could just develop a transgender league where trans people play against trans people. That would be
Why
great.
not?
I mean, that's the only... If you want to actually have equal opportunity for everyone in these competitions, I would think that's the only logical way you could do it, so that you don't have these massive inherited, quite literally inherited with their genes, advantages when you go to different teams.
But you can't pretend you're a biological female just because you wish you were. You can't pretend when it comes to women's sports. You can't pretend when it comes to women's rights issues. It's like that's not. This you don't want men dominating that because that's what it is. It's men entering to women's spaces.
Crushing world records for weightlifting and pretty much every sport,
Yeah.
And whether
which they have been doing.
They identify as a woman, that's great. But you're a biological male.
Yeah.
And you want to compete against them? You want to play rugby against women? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. That's crazy.
They want to dominate.
They want to dominate. There's a lot of that.
They want to dominate.
They want to be winners.
Yeah.
Yeah. If all of a sudden you can be a woman and a winner and just fucking kick everybody's ass.
Yeah. You know how you used to like play the kids in basketball, like they 8, and you're just Shaq out there. You just Shaq.
Yeah.
You're like,
It's the ultimate sandbagging. You know? It's like,
He's a comedian. He's missing that pun, or he's creating a pun and not acknowledging it. Come on.
you know you have a giant advantage. Like, the one that drove me the craziest was the MMA fighter.
That was
Because
insane.
that person became a woman for 2 years and then started competing as women.
That's one of the most morally vacuous people I could think of. So this person had a lifetime advantage of being a man, having testosterone, building bone structure. Decided to transition for 2 years and then compete in the MMA and beat the crap out of these women, and not telling anyone of that massive advantage. And I was surprised there weren't more major protests around that.
And not
Because the women that I was going against, they didn't know. No one did.
telling them and saying it was a medical issue. I don't have to disclose a medical condition. Like, no. That's not what that is.
Wow.
Like, if that person said that they were a woman and competed against women, that's deception. That's a fucking lie. But if you said you're a biological male and the women still want to fight you, okay,
Yep.
all good.
Transparency is key.
yeah, it's tricky, man. It's like a slippery slope.
Yeah.
They really start.
And that's a good summary, because the slippery slope is no longer a theory. It's not really a theory anymore. It's been proven time and time and time again. We could basically, for all intents and purposes, just call it the slippery slope fact. Because I really have yet to see it where it doesn't play out exactly like you think it's going to play out. And when it comes to women sports and athletes, we'll see if there's more pushback and see if anyone is brave enough to stand up for all the women who are losing their scholarships, their opportunities. Time shall tell to see what kind of cultural shift if the United States keeps going the current direction, or maybe there's a cultural shift back. We'll see. I don't know what the Las Vegas odds are for that, but some might say it's a simple toss-up or a coin toss. I digress. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers this month, so I really appreciate you taking time to click that subscribe button. Don't forget to like as well as leave comments. The feedback is greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.